This is Yada Yada episode 20. We're talking Dallas, we're talking DiCaprio, and we're talking detecting lies, and much, much more. And for once, we're actually sticking to the description. This will be a podcast about nothing you just might remember, or not. Let's get into it. We made it 20 episodes. Audience can't believe it.
Who would have thought? We just keep the doubters on their toes, including ourselves.
Right. We made it so far that we've just completely run out of topics.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're just going to yada yada today, you know?
We're just going to riff, and then we're going to raff, and then we're going to yada a little bit and yada some more. I've got an office quote I want to read you, and I want to tell you that I forgot about this quote, and I'm not lying when I say I had tears in my eyes watching this. It was so funny. Michael Scott is at Phyllis's wedding, and he's giving a speech. He says, he says, Webster's dictionary defines wedding as the fusing of two metals with a hot torch. Well, you want to know something? I think you guys are two metals. Gold medals.
Oh my gosh.
I was crying watching that today. It was so funny.
Good old Michael. He's got some good ones.
I think you guys are medals. Gold medals.
I was watching some bloopers the other day of The Office, and they might be even more funny than just watching the show. It's just hilarious seeing everybody break. It's
people breaking character, yeah.
Yeah. One day we'll release our own blooper reel for yada yada.
Was I supposed to be keeping those? Sounds like
they're all in the episodes.
Yeah, right.
We kept them in already.
It's unedited.
Well, we got any comments to clean up? We got
So
commenting.
My phone was blowing up about 4 days ago from one CP.
Oh, okay.
I think that would be old Papa Pennington.
That is correct. And
let me tell you, he has ended the debate of hardest sports skill or whatever
So we finally have a winner. Someone voted. Wow.
We finally have a winner. Okay. And I think he had a little subtle brag in his vote because CP says that he could learn to pole vault. Most exceptional athletes could. And so I think he's bragging on himself, claiming that he's an exceptional athlete, is what I think he's doing.
Well, you know, us Penningtons are just a different breed.
Oh yeah, you're just built different. There's no doubt about it. He did say, I would never be able to stay away from Ali in the ring. So his vote goes to boxing knockout.
Boxing knockout. There we go.
And so that is our one vote, and therefore the winner.
There we go. So knocking somebody out or avoiding getting knocked out.
Correct.
Those two things combined.
Yep.
The hardest thing to do in all of sports. You heard it here, everybody.
Yep.
Well, that's good. You know what? I was leaning towards boxing anyways.
Yeah.
I think I was, really.
Yeah. I also say, or he also said that our fantasy teams, he's taking Hot Take Hayden's team.
Really?
And he says Bigfoot would never be seen until he's open in the end zone. So that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, a couple comments there. He did say which this doesn't go, I don't think, to the episode that he was listening to, but he commented on the episode where we had Balin on, and he talked about all the MCU movies.
Marvel, okay.
But I think he was trying to comment on the fantasy football episode.
I see.
Anyway, he says Roger Staubach is Captain America.
I think he meant that to be a shot at Marvel, if I'm being honest with you.
I don't get it.
Well, from the history lessons I've been taught in my household about the
Oh boy.
Dallas Cowboys, Roger Staubach, that was his nickname because he was the captain of America's team.
Oh.
So, Captain America. And
Gotcha.
so anytime I bring up my love for Cap and Steve Rogers, he just says real Captain America is Roger Staubach.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
There you go.
Well, now I learned something, a history lesson. I now understand. Well, that leads us into our Dallas topic because, things are shaking up in the sports world. The Texas Rangers ended their season 81-81, and so that perfectly describes the season that they had. For those of you that didn't follow, probably you, they had one of the best. Actually, I think they had the best ERA, entire pitching staff ERA, in all of baseball. And they had one of the worst batting averages in all of baseball. So they were the top of the top in pitching and the bottom of the bottom in batting. And so for them to end the season at a perfect 81-81, it perfectly encapsulates the year that they had. And so that's unfortunate. But breaking news, Bruce Bochy has been him and the Rangers have mutually agreed to part ways. Their manager, Bruce Bochy. So that happened about an hour ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so he's been offered a position in the front office. He hasn't accepted or declined it yet, but he's out of there. He won his World Series and then went back-to-back years not even making the playoffs. So he's gone. But he won us a World Series. He's super old. One of the best postseason managers ever. But shout out to him because he did help us win a World Series and mission accomplished, I guess. But yeah, so the Rangers are done. The Mavs had media day today, and so they're getting back in the swing of things. The Stars are playing some preseason hockey.
Huh?
Yeah, we're into the Cooper Flag era officially, and so Kyrie Irving is still recovering from his ACL tear. Unfortunately, he's according to him, he's right on schedule with his recovery, so that's good to hear. But everybody else is cleared and ready to go. Dennis Smith Jr. is back on the team. I didn't know that. And he did have a quote today about how things have changed or not changed since he's been on the Mavs. Dennis Smith Jr. was a high draft pick back in the day, for those that don't know.
Let's say he was like what? He was like top 10?
He was top. I think he was number 9, I want to say.
Wow. If you would have told me a couple years ago that Dennis Smith Jr. would be on the Mavs again and Luka would not,
yeah,
I would have thought you were smoking something.
What
That's
happened?
insane.
Yeah. Well, it still
We're
is
in the
insane.
wrong timeline.
You can tell me that right now, and I still think it's insane. But yeah, he had a question from some reporter or something that said, what's changed, what's the same, and he said Dwight Powell's still here. My buddy Dwight Powell's still here. So we live in the world where Dwight Powell has more job security than Luka Doncic, apparently.
Right.
Yep. But yeah, so the Mavs had media day, so things are ramping up there. That's kind of exciting. Even though I've said I'm not going to follow them, I'm definitely going to, just because I can't not. But football is in full swing. The Cowboys were just typical Cowboys the other day. Let's just end in a tie and everybody be happy. I did not stay up. That was, I guess, 2 days. No, that was last night.
That was last night. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, me neither. I didn't make it into the fourth.
Yeah.
I think I was out. But
I was out. There was about 4 minutes left in the game, and both teams had all 3 timeouts, and so I just knew that this was going to be at least another hour of screen time. And so I fell asleep, and thank goodness I did, because if I would have stayed awake for another hour and a half just for a freaking tie to happen, I would have been so mad. So
yeah, no.
But yeah, it was basically the Jerry Jones, Micah Parsons show last night.
Hey, but they announced the Super Bowl halftime performer.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
My wife sent in our family group chat. She sent one to my side of the family. She was like, "Hey, everyone, guess who it's going to be for halftime before they announced it." You know. Mm-hmm. And so my dad, I need to look what he said.
I'm going to guess he didn't guess who it is.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I wouldn't have guessed it either.
He said either Hank Williams Jr. or Elton John. And then they announced it was Bad Bunny, and I sent him the gift from Dumb and Dumber. I was way off.
Samsonite, Bad Bunny, I was way off.
Oh man,
old Bad Bunny. That's Luka. That's Luka Doncic's favorite rapper.
Is it really?
Favorite artist?
Are you a fan? I work with a lot of people that are fans of.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you work with Bad Bunny.
Not Bad Bunny, no.
No, I can't. I don't think I could name one of his songs. I'd probably know a few if I heard them, just because he is a pretty popular guy. But yeah. I wouldn't be able to. I can't tell you one Bad Bunny song or lyric or anything right now. But I bet there's some that I know.
I think the only one that I actually know is the one that he did with what's her name? The female rapper, Cardi B.
Oh yeah, old Cardi.
Yeah, old Cardi. They had a little song together that was popular for a while, but I think that was a lot of years ago. So I am off the Bad Bunny track at the moment. But
can't say that
I know a lot of my coworkers that will be excited. So
there you go.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them.
But yeah, that's kind of the I said the Stars are in their preseason right now, so hockey's kind of underway as well. Not that that's on our radar very much, but it is Dallas sports. So
right, we'll have Balin on again. He can give us some updates every once in a while.
Shout out to the Wings as well. I think they ended the season with like 7 wins or something like that, which is not very many.
I was about to say, how many do they play?
Yeah, it's not good. But Paige Beckers, she did win Rookie of the Year, I heard. So
cool.
They'll probably trade her in a couple of years to get somebody else. But yep, that's Dallas sports for you right there.
Some Wings. Who was in the comments telling us to check out the Wings? Somebody was.
Yeah, it was Blake.
The Wings.
Yep,
Blake. That's right.
Blake likes him some WNBA. Oh, by the way, 2K26 has come out, and I think I don't know if I mentioned this on air or just to you or what, but it's actually not. You can't play WNBA versus NBA like quick games.
What?
Yeah, it's real stupid.
Oh.
I regret buying the game. No, not really, but it's like a.
No, not really. I play it 5 hours a day.
It's the I haven't played it in a while actually, but anyway, it's the like my team. You got to draw cards and it's special players and it's a bunch of garbage is what it is. But I still play it, so obviously it works.
You got your my player going.
I got my player going. Yep, I got a little Klay Thompson build, 2-way sharpshooter. You know,
there you go.
So we'll see how it goes, but. Yeah, I haven't played in a while. I've been kind of busy. That's why we haven't released some podcasts.
That's true. And I've been sick for, I don't know, a week. Like I just got over it a couple days ago. So
yeah. Well, we're back.
We're back. Speaking of being sick, I had a cough. So I went in. One of our topics today is polygraphs. That's our segue.
Mm-hmm.
And
There you go.
yeah. And I went in to take my polygraph because I'm in the hiring process for a firefighter position. And so I've been going through all those hula hoops, which are quite a few hula hoops they make you jump through. And one of them's a polygraph. And it seemed a little strange at first, to have to take a polygraph. Because what you have to know about polygraphs is that, they call them lie detectors, right? And you watch the movies and you think when they see somebody lying that they, it's, that's a lie. You know what I mean? But they don't measure lies. They watch your, because that's impossible. They watch your blood pressure. They put the band around your arm, and they monitor your blood pressure. They connect some stuff to your fingers, 2 things to your fingers to monitor your heartbeat, I'm assuming. And then they got a camera right on your face to measure, to see if you look around too much, because there's some more deception. So they're measuring all these different vital signs and bodily functions. And if you, even if you move around, just fidget at all, too deep of a breath, that's deception. Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, so they detect all those things, and then it's up to your, I think they call it a polygrapher, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. But the person that's in the room with you taking this test and monitoring all these signs, it's their opinion whether or not you're deceptive. Interesting. Based on all this crap that they're monitoring your. So if they ask you a question, and it's annoying because some questions inherently are more serious than others. You know what I mean? Right. Like if they ask me, when's the last time you got a driving, you got pulled over by a cop while you were driving, for, a speeding ticket. That's the last time I got a speeding ticket. That's less serious than, have you ever, committed a felony, or have you ever killed someone? You know what I mean? Like those questions inherently, I feel like, give you a little bit more of a rush just because they're more serious. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Yeah. I haven't been trained like a Navy SEAL on how to control those emotions and how to keep from spiking my blood pressure when they ask me a serious question, even if I'm not lying about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I've talked to guys, and I've read, articles about guys talking about this online, and, there's been guys that have lied all the way through and not shown up deceptive, and some guys that has told the truth all the way through, and then just shown up deceptive for something stupid, Yeah. And so it's just a weird, I don't know. It seems like some kind of pseudoscience, I think really what it is a way for them to weed out more people from the process, because it's such a competitive job. There's so many people applying. When I took my initial test, there were almost 2,000 guys in the room. Wow. And they hire like 50 out of those 2,000. Yeah. And so it's just so competitive. I'm assuming they make you do all this just to weed people out. Like it's just one more thing they can get you on if you fail your lie detector test. Right. But I did pass, so
there you go. That's good. Well, don't think the fire department doesn't know how to weed them out.
But yeah, it's all right. Weird.
So what's like what's next after the lie detector?
Yeah, so I've already done all the physical stuff. So they make you, and I think each department's a little different. They all have their own ways of doing stuff. Right. But the one I'm applying to, you do your initial test, and it's like a general civil service exam. Mm-hmm. So it's just kind of like almost like SAT, ACT type questions, and then they rank you from there, and then. If you made a 70 or higher, then you move on in the process. And so the first thing is literally the first things that they make you do is just show up to a few things like these meetings. So you just have to, if you don't show up on time, you're out. That's it, And so, and then they make you do the physical tests, which One of them's called a CPAT, and then the other one is a 1.5 mile run. So the CPAT, yeah, it's gross. But the CPAT is like they put 75 pounds of gear on you, and they make you do a stair stepper for, I don't know, 3-4 minutes. And then once you're done with that stair stepper, you have to get off and go complete all these other challenges, like carrying saws and raising up a ladder and touching every like rung on the ladder. You have to touch every one, crawling through a tight space, lifting some stuff up, all these different things, dragging a hose around this thing, and you have to make that in a certain time, or else you're done. Well, you get 3 chances on that, which I don't know why they give you 3 chances on that, but one on the run, I don't know, it's a little odd, but but they give you 3 chances on that, and then if you pass that, then you go on to the run, which again is 1.5 miles, and you have to do it in I think it's 13 minutes. 13 minutes, yeah. So most people don't have trouble with it, you know what I mean? Like if you've come this far, you know that you're gonna have to run. That's the time you're gonna have to meet. So most people are pretty prepared at that point. There was one guy that I ran with that was just flying. I talked to him a little bit afterwards, and he like runs marathons frequently. That's just fun for him.
What a loser.
Right. So I was running, and I was like, as long as I can see that guy, I know that I'm going to be all right. Like, if I can see him in front of me, then I'll be good.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so they make you do all that stuff. Polygraph. You have to pass a scenario oral interview. So they ask you 3 questions, and it's like testing your morals, your ethics, your critical thinking, all that stuff, And you pass that. So I passed the polygraph, and now they're going to make me meet with a background investigator, and he's just going to go through my entire life, I guess.
Very interesting.
We'll see. Yeah, it's very, very invasive process, but
it's a long process. It sounds like, but I guess that makes sense. I mean, it's a pretty important job. And there's some psychological stuff that goes with it too. Like, you're gonna see some messed up stuff probably at some point. So you want to make sure you're not a psychopath or anything like that.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm assuming the polygraph comes into play a little bit with that stuff. With just examining your psychology a little bit, making sure you're not crazy or just a flat out liar with stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's been an interesting process. I feel like pretty lucky to make it this far, and so hopefully things keep going well.
Do they tell you like how many are left in each stage? They
don't update. I mean,
I guess you can kind of see if you're doing like physical stuff, and there's only 50 people there or whatever.
That's true. Every once in a while, like when we have a big meeting, they'll tell you like this many guys didn't show up today, and so that's this many down. You know what I mean? So they keep you updated on that, but they don't send like a weekly update like, hey, you're moved up to spot number 50. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
So, so yeah, it's been an interesting process.
Yeah,
and quite competitive.
Sounds like it.
But the department I'm applying to will actually send you through like EMT school, firefighting school. You have to pay for it for yourself.
Yeah, that's nice. No experience required or anything.
Exactly. Yeah. And no experience required for the interviews portion of it too. So that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
what are there like? I mean, you might not know, but what's the age like range of kids or men that you've seen?
You have to be, I think, 21, and or no, you could be 19 maybe.
Okay.
It's something like that. I think some departments have it at 21, some departments have it at 18.
Yeah.
But I think the department I'm applying at might actually be 18. And then you have to have graduated high school, at least. And then and you can't be 35 36 at the time that they hire you. So
Gotcha.
you have to do everything before you're 35, you know. So
Interesting.
luckily I still have a few years to go if I don't make it this time.
Just made it.
I have a couple family members that made it while in their 30s.
Yeah.
And so I still have a little bit of time to prep if I don't make it this time around, but
There you go.
we'll see. Well, that's all the firefighter stuff. But yeah,
that's interesting.
Polygraph is quite the. I was expecting when I went into the polygraph to be, you know how you see it in the police shows where they put you in like an interrogation room and they just grill you,
put a lamp on your head and stuff.
Yeah, until you break, you know.
Yeah.
And I got it, and I pulled up to this office. First of all, I was in Dallas, and I don't live very close to Dallas. And
Right.
the department that I'm in isn't in Dallas, but they
Right.
made us drive to Dallas.
That makes sense.
But yeah. And I was like, "There's no place in Fort Worth that has one of these." Because I pulled up to this place, and it's just kind of a rinky-dink little office. Nothing special. I guess these people are just qualified to do this stuff.
Yeah. So it was like a polygraph business, or was it?
Yeah, literally, that's what they did.
They like contracted out to this business or something.
Yep. I walked into this place and it was like I walked into this place and they had a polygraph, like an old timey like relic polygraph sitting in the lobby, and then they had a little classroom where you watched a video before you started, and then they took you back to the place where they hooked you up to the machine, and it literally it just looked like a little classroom, like a little business office, like nothing crazy. They just had me sit and stare at the wall. Right in front of you. Can't move. Can't take deep breaths.
Yeah,
I had a cough. Going back to what I was talking about. But I had a cough at this time. So I walk into the office and I give it a little, excuse me, I had a little bit of a cough. She said, "Oh, well, you can't do that during the test."
Yeah, that's a no-no.
That's deception. I was like, what? All right.
Okay.
So I had to hold that cough in for 10 minutes, which was awful. 15 minutes, whatever it was.
Wow. Is that how long it was? About 15 minutes?
About 15 minutes. Maybe it's probably shorter than that. They just kind of had you go through all the stuff that you filled out on this packet, this questionnaire.
Oh, yeah.
And I really thought they were going to like grill you on specifics, because I mean it was a very like, you know, anything you've ever done that is not just peachy, you know, you have to put on this packet.
Yeah.
And it asked you a million questions, and so I thought it was going to she was going to really grill me on some of them to see you know, if I was lying on the really like crazy ones, but it was more of a like, hey, did you lie on this section at all? And you just had to say, you know, no. And then she kind of stared at you for a second, like, you know, just look at you, computer, look back at you, and then ask you again.
Are they taking deep breaths?
Just do it over and over until she was satisfied, I guess, with the test, and then yeah,
interesting,
very interesting experience.
Yeah,
but yeah, let me know.
Well, there's a look into the firefighter interview process right there.
Yeah, I just had George Costanza in my mind.
Yeah,
it's not a
absolutely.
lie,
yeah,
if you believe it.
Right, 100%, 100%. Well, I have there's that episode of Seinfeld where he's dating that cop and she takes him to the police station and does a polygraph test about watching some show. I don't know what show it is. It was probably some show back then, but
yeah,
that's all I could think of when you told me about it.
Yep, it was a weird little process, but I'm glad that's over. So
yeah, on to the next.
On to the next thing. Well, speaking of being on to the next thing, I saw a movie recently. Have you seen the movie? When's the last time you went to the movie theaters?
That is a great question. It was February, and I went.
February. And
let me tell you, I don't remember what I saw, but I went by myself because my wife had a Galentine's Day at our home, and I'm not a gal. No. And so I went to the movies that night by myself.
You would have been like me at that book club that one time.
Yeah. Yeah. Just, I don't want to do that. That makes me uncomfortable just thinking about it. So I'm trying to remember what I saw though. I don't have any idea what I saw. Yeah, it was definitely February because it was a Galentine's event. Yeah, no idea. No, I don't
Was it
have
like
any idea.
Sinners?
No, I definitely didn't see that. No.
Yeah,
It might have been. I don't know if you saw it or not, or I don't remember what it's called. You put me on the spot, but that Mark Wahlberg movie that came out.
the one where he has like the bald head.
Yeah, where he's like the redneck guy that flies the plane, and it's like a secret mission or what? Flight Risk. I think it was Flight Risk.
You went and saw Flat Risk by yourself.
I believe so.
Sounds like quite the evening.
It had Mark Wahlberg, so I thought, hey, that ought to be some kind of manly movie that I could cancel out with Galentine's Day. Yeah, I think it was Flight Risk. It came out January 24th, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson was the producer, in case you're wondering.
Really?
It wasn't a very good movie. It wasn't. You could kind of tell what was going to happen, but
Kind of forgot about it as soon as you walked out.
yeah, but it kept me entertained for about an hour and a half. So
There you go.
So yeah,
Well,
February was the last time I went to the movies.
Well, this movie that I saw was much longer than an hour and a half. I think the official runtime was about 2 hours and like 45 minutes or something.
Boy, howdy. Sounds like a yada yada episode.
Yeah, it was pretty close to 3 hours. It's the new Leonardo DiCaprio movie. It's called One Battle After Another. Have you seen anything about this movie?
I think so, but not really. One battle after another.
Yeah, so
No, he's got a sweet mustache.
he is rocking quite the stash.
Some
Let me give you the blurb from the description from Wikipedia for all you people that haven't heard about this.
Yeah.
But One Battle After Another is a 2025 American action thriller film co-produced, written, and directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. Have you heard of old PTA?
I can't say that I've heard of him.
It was inspired by the 1990 novel Vineland by Thomas Pynchon, who I've heard the name. I haven't read any Pynchon, but I have heard the name Thomas Pynchon. And so that's an interesting. I think he's actually credited as a co-writer of the script, even though I think Paul Thomas Anderson just kind of pulled a lot from that novel.
Yeah.
But it stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, all Oscar winners, Regina Hall, Teyana Taylor, and Chase Infinity, and follows, that's a cool name, and follows an ex-revolutionary who must rescue his daughter from a corrupt military official. And DiCaprio does play the ex-revolutionary who is trying to rescue his daughter, and Sean Penn is the corrupt military official. And first of all, I'll just say I had a really good time with this movie. I thought it was entertaining from start to finish. That said, from the reviews that I've been seeing, it seems a little divisive. Seems like it's splitting audiences down the middle, which most things in 2025 do that. Everyone's operating on extremes. But it does seem right. But it does seem like you either from the stuff I've read, people either love this movie or hate this movie, and there's really no in between. And I think a lot of it might have to do with the fact that it is touching on a lot of political stuff that's going on, and it feels like it's political stuff that's like of 2025. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's dealing with ICE, detainment.
Okay.
It's dealing with most of it has to do with immigration conflicts. That makes sense. So we got characters that are like harboring illegal immigrants, and then we got the government chasing them. But I think what makes it kind of so divisive is that it presents caricatures, so like extremes of both sides of the political landscape at the moment.
Yeah.
So like the on one side you have the far left, and they're they're these ex-revolutionaries that are trying to enact change, try to make a better world through violence, right? Through like politically, motivated violence.
Yes.
And then you have on the far right, you basically have like these neo-Nazis, corrupt government agencies, basically modern day KKK members.
Yeah.
And, it's like the extremes, the polar extremes of both sides. And, of course, the protagonist, Leo, and Leo's love interest, they were the revolutionaries. And so they're going to present the protagonist as being more sympathetic than the neo-Nazis, right?
Yeah.
But, which, makes sense. But I do understand why people would feel a little, divided in this movie. That said, it's an action thriller, and there's tons of action, but really at its heart, there's tons of action. It's very politically charged, but at its heart, it's a really good. I think it's a really good father-daughter movie. Ooh. And so if you go into it just thinking I'm going to focus on the fact that this is a father-daughter movie and that's what's going to be the most important thing to me when I watch this, then I think you'll come out of it having a really good experience. Now, if you go into it wanting your political beliefs to be validated, then you're not going to have a good experience, right? Because Paul Thomas Anderson probably has a different political perspective than you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And he definitely injects it into even though a lot of it is being pulled from Thomas Pynchon's Vineland novel. I think what Paul Thomas Anderson is trying to do is he's taken like these revolutionaries from the 60s, which are part of that novel, and he's putting them in a modern setting, right? And I don't know how well that execution lands.
Yeah.
Because there's a bunch of different ways you could leave this movie and think about the message of it. You know what I mean? Like I can't really settle on the message because it presents both sides as being really messed up. You know what I mean? And also, right. I see a lot of people getting real mad that the protagonists of the movie aren't like you can't. They're not completely morally justified. You know what I mean? Which I don't understand when it became a rule that all of our protagonists have to be morally justified. People love The Godfather, and guess who the protagonist of that movie is? It's the Corleone family. You know what I mean? So
like when you say morally justified, like you mean like they're not a good guy?
Right. Like DiCaprio is essentially at the beginning of the movie when it like there's a flashback sequence. So it starts with DiCaprio and he's like 20 years younger than he is. And he's like in the height of his revolutionary time. And so they're basically domestic terrorists, you know what I mean? Like it shows them raid an ICE facility and extract all the detainees, and they do it at gunpoint, you know what I mean? And so it's really they're not like more like this is not good things to do, you know what I mean?
Right.
But again, I don't think it's definitely not a breaker for me if the protagonist of a movie is a little morally gray, you know what I mean? We all love Game of Thrones and we all love Breaking Bad, and those protagonists might as well be the villains. And so the only difference is we have Sean Penn, who's just a straight up basically modern Nazi, and he is the main bad guy of this movie. And so when you juxtapose their actions to what Sean Penn's doing, they look a lot better than he does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because at least they're fighting for some kind of social change. They want the world to be a better place, whereas he just is a racist. Yeah. And so there's a lot of politically charged stuff going on. But like I said, this movie, is a really good father-daughter movie, and Leo, and it's also a lot of this makes it sound like a really serious movie, what I've been saying, but it's actually pretty hilarious all the way through. It's and I would recommend going if you do want to see this movie. It's not one I would recommend to like my grandmother or anything.
Yeah.
But if you do want to see this movie, and you can stomach a little bit of violence and testy material, then I would recommend going in completely blind, like without seeing any trailers. You know what I mean? If you haven't already, because the trailers don't do a great job of telling you what it is. Like, yeah, it's really tense all the way through, but it also does have a lot of moments of levity. You know what I mean? A lot of hilarious moments, with mostly centering around DiCaprio and Benicio del Toro. And I think Benicio. Yeah, go ahead.
Like DiCaprio, is it like normal DiCaprio? Like, you know how like Brad Pitt's kind of funny but not funny. Like DiCaprio's kind of got that same sense of humor that, like, it's not. I don't know. It's not like a comedy movie, but they can make it funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of how it is. Like, they're definitely not. I mean, a lot of it obviously comes from the writing, but but like they are very out of place. I don't know if you've ever seen. I'm trying to think of something I can compare DiCaprio to in this movie, and the closest thing I can get to is I don't know if you've ever seen The Big Lebowski with Jeff Bridges.
I know what it is, but I haven't seen it.
Well, basically think of like if the Big Lebowski, if the dude from Big Lebowski, if he wound up somehow in the middle of No Country for Old Men, like it's like the most non-serious, goofy character, and he winds up in like the most serious, politically charged situation, and all he's trying to do is save his daughter. And so when you think of it like that, it's like Taken if the dad was way less competent. Like DiCaprio's bumbling around. He's been basically the 20 years since he retired as a revolutionary. He's basically just been drunk and on drugs the whole time. And so by the time stuff hits the fan, he has to like go back into action mode, and he can't remember any of the passwords, and like and that's where the comedy is created, like putting him in situations where he has to be an action hero, and he just fails over and over and over. There's a scene, there's a rooftop chase scene, and DiCaprio's running across these roofs and like jumping from roof to roof, and eventually he tries to clear a roof and just hits a tree and just falls 40 feet and lands on his back. he has to get up and run away, and then somebody tases him immediately. And so it's just it's situations like that where that's where the comedy comes in. It's just situational, like where DiCaprio is just so out of place in this fight. But he just keeps on getting up and going after his daughter, and that's the best part of this movie, I think, is their relationship and the fact that at the end of the day, I think it is a pretty hopeful movie. Whether or not you agree with, obviously, you know, most people aren't going to agree with the protagonist or the antagonist, or basically anybody in this movie other than Leonardo DiCaprio's daughter, who is just mixed up in this mess because her parents made bad decisions, you know. Yeah. And so and by the way, the daughter of Leonardo DiCaprio, it's played by Chase Infinity, which again, cool name, but this is her first big movie, and it was one of the best performances I've seen all year. Like she was great. And I think she's only like, I don't know, 17 or 18, but she's really good actress, and I guarantee you, I don't know if she'll get nominated for an Oscar, but I can definitely see her getting nominated for like a Golden Globe or something. Yeah. I think DiCaprio might get nominated. Sean Penn might win an Oscar. I'll be real honest with you. His performance was just creepy and disgusting and uncomfortably funny at times. Like he's so morally reprehensible, but he would do stuff where it was funny. You know what I mean? Like you couldn't help but laugh, even though he's an awful person, awful character. But like I said, I had a good time with this movie. Really intense. There was one car chase scene that, and you know, this might be a little hyperbolic. I don't think so though. It might be the coolest car chase that I've ever seen. Whoa! I know that's high praise, but
there's episode 21 right there. One of the coolest car chases in cinema.
Yeah. No, it was this car chase. I'm telling you, it was going through. So they were going through hills the whole time, but the way that PTA filmed it, it was like I said, it was like unlike anything that I've seen. Like it was just really cool, and it's something I can't describe. It's something y'all just have to see. So even if you don't want to see that movie, in about 3 months time, just YouTube that car chase, and I'll remind you, and it's worth watching.
Huh? What is it called?
One Battle After Another.
One Battle After Another. There you go.
And Paul Thomas Anderson is a filmmaker that I've struggled to get on his wavelength in the past. He's made quite a few stuff that's been critically acclaimed, but I don't know. Like there's a lot of his movies that I just haven't been able to connect with, and this is the first time where I've actually connected with a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. Out of the gate, you know what I mean? Like I really like There Will Be Blood now, and I think Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood is one of the best acting performances that I've ever seen. But it took me a while to get on that movie's wavelength. It took me multiple watches. This one, I walked out of the theater like, man, I just had a good time. DiCaprio was hilarious, and I love the relationship with him and his daughter. And it was just, and Benicio del Toro's actually. He's just great in this movie. He plays his DiCaprio's daughter's karate sensei, and when stuff hits the fan, DiCaprio has nowhere to go but to his daughter's karate teacher for help. And so it's just Benicio del Toro trying to calm him down the whole time. Ocean waves, Bob. Ocean waves. But
so other Paul Thomas Anderson movies. The only one according to ChatGPT. The only one I've ever heard of is Hard 8.
Hard 8.
The other one's Boogie Nights, Magnolia, Punch Drunk Love. You said There Will Be Blood.
Yeah.
The Master, Inherent Vice, Phantom Thread, and Licorice Pizza. Those are the only ones that those are the top 10 that ChatGPT gives me.
Yeah, and I've only seen There Will Be Blood, Licorice Pizza, and Phantom Thread all the way through. So I'm not too familiar with his filmography, even though like just being a big fan of movies, I do feel like I have heard I've known of his name for a really long time. It's just like I don't, for whatever reason, his movies, like I said, I don't know if they're an acquired taste, but they definitely require a certain type of attention span, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't get on their wavelength within like the first 10-20 minutes, then I might as well turn it off, I think, because nothing's going to change. Paul Thomas Anderson doesn't really have a commercial bone in his body. Like he's not making movie for mass audiences, and so a lot of his stuff is very niche, you know what I mean? Not trying to please the crowds, just making movies that he would want to see, I think. He's like a less commercial Quentin Tarantino.
The way you're describing, like you got to be on their wavelengths and things like that. I keep thinking of Quentin Tarantino because, like obviously his movies are a little funky.
Yeah, and they've had an interesting relationship too, him and Tarantino, because they've always had like a friendly rivalry, I think, is what it looks like. Like Tarantino even said, like after he saw There Will Be Blood, he was like, "Oh shoot, I got to up my game. Like, this guy's gonna take over the scene if I don't up my game." And so right after that, he made Inglourious Bastards, And so
there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one I could think of. Like it's I don't know. I mean, that's a pretty funny movie, but it just takes place in a serious like time period, I guess, a serious setting. But I think that movie was meant to be comical. Yeah,
for sure. And that's I really love it when, this is kind of a tangent about Quentin Tarantino, but I love it when Tarantino goes off and does like the rewriting history, like the fairy tale, you know what I mean? Like in Inglourious Bastards, we see Hitler die, you know what I mean, at the end.
Right.
And it's the Jewish army of special Jewish forces that do the deed.
They win.
You know what I mean? So he gets to exactly. And he rewrites history with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I mean, it's in the title, you know what I mean? It's a Hollywood fairy tale. But he takes the Manson murderers, and he puts it on them instead of what actually happened, which is he rewrote history in that sense as well. And so I always do like when Tarantino goes down that route, because it's always pretty fun when he tells those kinds of stories. But yeah, PTA, he's an acquired taste. I always love seeing DiCaprio, though. He's one of my favorite actors, and so this isn't my favorite DiCaprio movie by any means, nor my favorite DiCaprio performance. That still is with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So another shout out to Quentin Tarantino. Yeah, I love that movie. I mean, it was on my Desert Island list back in.
It was. I do remember that. Yeah.
So
I remember that.
That's a movie I could just watch on repeat. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, one battle after another. It's worth a watch. Like I said, if you're sensitive to violence and language and stuff, then don't go see it, because that's all it is. But
yeah,
it's not all it is. But there's a lot of that, and so
yeah,
I would caution if if that's the case. But if you don't mind that every once in a while, then it's worth a watch. It's a good action adventure thriller. It's got a lot of politics in it, but I don't think that ruins the movie. Some people do. It didn't for me, anyways. I can look past that kind of stuff, and it didn't feel too preachy.
Okay, that was I guess that was kind of my main question. Like, there's movies out there, a lot of times they're on Netflix, but really any streaming service nowadays, to be honest. And you can just tell, like, they're doing too much to prove a point type thing. Yeah. So I was kind of wondering if this movie was kind of like that or not.
Like I said, it sympathizes with a far left side of the political spectrum. That said, it does not present them as perfect people. There's countless times in this movie where members of that revolutionary group betray each other and tell lies to get out of prison and do a lot of and murder, and there's a lot of morally reprehensible things, and in the movie it's not just me like saying, oh, that was morally reprehensible. The movie characterizes it as them making mistakes over and over. Yeah. And really, the one, I mean, you can sympathize with DiCaprio's character after his revolutionary time, because at that point, yeah, he's made mistakes in the past, but now he's trying to atone for them by just trying to save his daughter. He's like Liam Neeson in Taken. He's just not competent at all.
Right.
And so
a little more comical.
That's like his one mission, is just trying to save his daughter, and I can get on board with that. You know what I mean? I think most people can. And and so it's I don't think it's preaching to you. It could feel that way to some people, but like I said, when the movie starts, it might feel a little preachy because it's showing these people as heroic. But as the movie goes on, you see that just about everything that these revolutionaries do, falls flat and fires back in their face and makes things worse. Actively makes things worse. And that's kind of a little bit of the message that I picked up on the movie at the end of the day, was like those, it's up to the next generation to push for justice in a way that where they don't make the mistakes that their parents did. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where it's there's other ways to do it that don't include violence. And so that's kind of what I took away from the movie. So I don't think it's that preachy. But hey, that's just one person's opinion. So if you walk out of it halfway through thinking, the crap is he talking about, it preached to me for 50 minutes, then that's my bad.
There you go. Sorry, I just wasted $20 on a movie ticket. All right. One battle after another. Leo.
After another. It might be my favorite movie I've seen this year, to be honest with you. I might have to
still got some time left.
Yeah, I'll have to rewatch it. I really dug Superman, and I really dug Sinners, and so it's in competition with those. But yeah, I had a really good time. It was a good watch, and I always like to see DiCaprio on screen and Benicio del Toro, two of my favorite actors. So
And we talked about Sinners in, I think, episode 1. We talked about Sinners.
Yeah, it was really early on. That's for sure.
And then you talked about Superman not too long ago as well. So it was better than F1, huh?
Better than F1. I know. It's still a hot take. It's probably my hottest take on this channel.
Really, I haven't seen it. So has there been other people out there say it's not bad?
There have been other people out there that seem to like it a lot. I know my father-in-law and mother-in-law went to see it, and they had a really good time. I don't know. I was just not. It just fell real flat to me. I was not. Yeah.
Maybe it was just because it was so overhyped, and it didn't meet the hype of the media.
Yeah, it's not.
If you're going to compare a movie to Top Gun, like it better reach that expectation. Otherwise, it's going to be
Top Gun Maverick of the Ground. Okay, right. Bring it on.
Yeah,
don't put that on your DVD if you're not going to freaking deliver.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, that was disappointing. That's the only big disappointment I've had this year at the movies so far. So and I love Brad Pitt, so it's saying a lot. Maybe I had too high expectations. Couldn't just turn off my brain for F1.
That reminds me of Arch Manning, the Texas quarterback right now. They freaking hyped him up like crazy, and he's been struggling. But that leads me into, are you going to go to the state fair since you live somewhat close?
Yeah. You know what? I haven't been to the state fair in a really long time. But now that I have a, year and a half year old,
right,
it might be fun to take her and check out.
We might have to do a fair foods, like rank your fair foods or something like that. Yeah. Basically, rank your worst like nutritional food ever. Rank those, because that's all fair food is a bunch of fried stuff.
Right. Just as long as it doesn't devolve back into McDonald's.
Yeah.
It's bound to, though.
Yeah. Everything goes back to McDonald's when it comes to food and drink.
Yep. That's America, baby.
Yeah. Land of the free, baby. Oh, man. Well, there you have it. I don't have anything. I mean, I didn't have anything in the first place. You kind of ramrodded what we were going to talk about. So I'm out.
That's all I got. One battle after another. Polygraphs are weird.
Yeah,
that's the takeaway.
If you're ever going to be a firefighter, don't forget about that polygraph. If you've done some bad stuff in your life, don't go lying about it, because they'll don't take a deep breath when you talk about it.
Don't take deep breaths.
Otherwise, you're deceiving them.
Keep your breath shallow and consistent the whole time, or else.
No coughing. No coughing.
No coughing at all.
You're just
don't fidget. Stare at that wall.
Yeah.
Pick a spot and stare.
Which that makes me. I mean, as a non-firefighter that relies on first responders, like I would assume other first responder careers or occupations kind of go through this, like police officers kind of go through the same thing. Like that kind of gives me a little bit of peace of mind that they're doing this very thorough investigation of each person that they are going to hire. So
that's true. But I still don't know why my wife got to skip all this stuff when she was getting a nursing job. They're first responders.
True. I feel like nurses,
they got people's lives in their hands every day.
Yeah. Mine's at work right now, so she's definitely doing stuff like that. But
so that's interesting. Those nurses get a pass, but hey, they do.
Yeah,
they do some hard work. So
I
wouldn't want them to jump through any more hula hoops than they have to.
They got some stories up their sleeve, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Ugh, gross. I think we mentioned a few stories on one of these whatever episode that was.
Yeah, they do got some sick ones. Well, time for dinner.
Let's sit around the table and talk about our day at the hospital and all the things we saw.
Yeah.
And smelt.
Those are rough.
Yeah. All right. Well, one battle after another. Go check it out with old Leo DiCaprio. And then, Polygraph. Oh, yeah, we talked about some sports, too. So we kind of covered our yada yada themes with movies and sports. Sports are ramping back up, so we'll probably probably be talking about them a little bit more in the
Mavs
coming
talk.
episodes.
I know everybody waits just to hear us talk about the Mavs every
Absolutely.
episode. And so
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
their favorite thing.
No doubt. No doubt about it. And if you don't, too bad, because I'm going to talk about them because I just can't not. I got to talk about it. Here's the thing is my wife is not a sports person and doesn't really care unless she's gotten more involved. She used to be like, I don't know who you're talking about, what you're talking about, and I don't care to learn.
Right.
The more we've been together, the more she's realized, okay, he's not going to stop talking, so I might as well learn about what he's talking about. But I say all that to say I got to tell somebody what I'm thinking. And so being able to have this microphone in front of me, I get to just ramble on about the Dallas Mavericks and how stupid they are half the time.
Right. That's why we started this podcast, is specifically so you could do that without anyone interrupting you.
There you go. Yeah, I just mute you and I'll just ramble. I'll just do a solo episode whenever I feel like it. Because the Mavs when the Mavs go on a 10-game losing streak, it's just solo episode with Ty.
Yep. We're just going to have a 10-minute episodes of Ty just ranting, and we're just going to post that 10 minutes in between our hour-and-a-half episodes.
It's a little filler episode.
Yep. Just keep you on your toes, everybody.
Yeah. All right. Well, if that's all you got, that's all I got.
That's it. Peace out, everybody. We'll see
Goodbye.
you next time.